Hi, David.
Hi there. How are you
How
today?
are you, my sweet baby? I'm
I,
good. Tell me about you.
yeah. Oh no. I mean, I just told you about me. TJ and I had a wonderful discussion off the air about so many things.
And most of them we couldn't actually put on the show. We're like, some of this was great because we talked about everything from Vampire Diaries to what is the appropriate age to ironically or sincerely watch any of the Twilight series or the Fifty Shades of Grey series. We talked about connecting backyards, the inevitable fact that Dave hangs out with more gay people on the weekends than I do, and a lot. It was wild. Um, and I think we also I think one of the bigger takeaways is that we described the fact that Dave and I actually, if you think about it, physically resemble Bert and Ernie, and you should probably be able to figure out both physically and personality wise which ones we resemble. So
I mean,
it's true.
literally, you are orange and I am yellow. So
Yes, yep, it's true, Bert. That's right.
I
Your
have to
pigeons are
keep
dumb.
getting I have to keep getting the color redone on my tattoo here because people can't tell because it's orange and yellow and it's the
Yeah,
same freaking color as my skin when I get a tan.
that's
Um,
yeah. You're very
yeah,
Mediterranean. It's true.
I am Olive Garden. I was gonna say all of the whatever, but yeah, I'm just Olive Garden. Go
I
ahead.
literally was gonna say you're an olive taco, and it just seemed a little bit too much. So I just sort of was just keeping it to myself, and then you just, yeah, just Zupa Toscana.
I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, yeah.
yeah. I do enjoy a rubber ducky. Rubber duckies for me, pigeons for you. It's perfect.
I
Yeah,
mean, I hate pigeons. I will say that pigeons are rats with wings, but you are so easy to imagine in a bubble bath with a rubber ducky.
I am
So much,
totally once done it.
so much easier than me. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
true. Dur, dur, burr, burr, burr.
yeah.
Yes. And
I,
also, yeah. No,
no,
go
go
on.
ahead.
Go on, baby.
Oh, I
I was
think,
just saying,
I mean, as a child, I loved Ernie. I think everybody wants to love Ernie, obviously, and Bert is kind of annoying. So
no, the
I
irony is
always,
I always loved Bert as a kid.
it makes it even better.
Right? I was
No, I
like,
love Ernie.
Ernie's a dick who can't get his shit together. Bert makes total sense. And then I was like, oh. And then I grew up to be Ernie.
This is
Like, oh, fair.
so supremely weird.
Yeah. No, I loved Bert. One of my favorite things as a kid is when he'd be like, and he'd like look up from a book or the newspaper or just the, and I would just lose my shit because Bert was the best.
Oh
But
my
I
God.
ironically I understand who we are in this. And much like Bert and Ernie, we have to tell people they were roommates. They were roommates. There's nothing else going on.
They were roommates
It's fine.
and
No.
best friends.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's true. That's true.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
I agree.
So,
It's moderately exhausting in this office because it's finals week. My finals are all these days.
oh, well,
So
that's fun.
yeah,
How
they're
many?
so
I don't even
close.
know. How many classes do you teach?
So I usually teach three. This semester I teach one.
Oh,
Because yeah, because I'm running a pedagogy center on campus, so I got course releases. But it's an upper division
isn't that
class for
illegal?
seniors. No, it is not
Okay,
illegal. You get course releases
okay.
for doing no as part of your employment to do a whole other thing. So I have like so many other meetings for other things, but teaching this one class, but they're upper division student classes, and they all have a research paper that's 10 to 12 pages, which means that I now have 31 12-page papers to read,
Okay. Okay.
and I am like, oh god, so here we go. But no, it's good. Yeah. Um, yeah. But I am very excited because that's what my next, this is the rest of my week will look like. It'll just be like, you'll be like, TJ, how are you? And I'm like, grading, Bert. Burp, burp, burp. But
Fantastic.
I'm so excited because as we make it through the end of the masters, by the time that we emerge, I will emerge from the end of the semester. And as of June 1st, I'm released from all of my service obligations and all of my grades will be due. And then I think we talked about this. I will be on sabbatical, which
Yes.
means that this sweet baby is being paid to not teach, but instead work on his book and hang out with Dave.
There you
So
go.
for the next 14 months, from June 2024 to August of 2025.
In Mykonos.
First off, I love that the heterosexual one is the one that suggested Mykonos. So God bless. Um, Second off, I'm not going to ask any follow up questions. I'm just going to say that's where we're gonna record a Brohawks episode. It's just two bros hanging out in Mykonos. The Bert and Ernie story. They were just
There you
great.
go.
They were just great.
Uh, should we do the intro?
Oh, sure. You're Dave Rapp.
And you're TJ Tally.
And together we are the horror known as the
Bro, the
the
horror.
ancient Lovecraftian horror summoned
I
from the
mean,
depths known as Brothulu. Yes.
I will say this before we start. It literally just occurred to me right before we started doing this show today that uh, I think we heard from Yogesh in our last episode, or we heard from somewhere. I think it was from him. And then we both were very excited when we saw on the Jeopardy socials that they have Sam Buttrey and Andrew He
Yeah.
doing like commentary on the
Yeah.
Masters. And it occurred to me, where do you think they got that idea?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh, oh, that was my immediate feeling. And I was like,
Okay.
you have never done color commentary before, Jeopardy. And then you're like, let's get really beloved Jeopardy champions of a certain caliber to
Yeah,
be
I mean,
doing color commentary. And I was like, well, I can't argue because I love Sam Buttrey and Andrew Heath, so I was like, fair. But I
I
was
was gonna
like,
yes, I would say this to our fan at Jeopardy, i.e., the person who was forced to watch us to make sure that the legal we don't
thank
do
you so
anything
much.
illegal. Uh, you could have gotten us cheaper, is all I'm saying. I
Very little.
understand.
You pay us so little.
I
Yeah.
understand because I've met both of them. Sam and Andrew are fantastic people and wonderful personalities. You can't go wrong. But also, we would have done it cheaper. And dare I
Also,
say, funnier.
I mean, possibly, although Steve Martin is very funny.
I mean, Sam is he is a bon vivant and man about town,
It's true.
and he is in that regard opened many doors. Like, I mean, people just want to be Sam. How many people have we seen stand up there and say "Bring it" on the last clue?
100%.
As soon as Sam's decided he was a bon vivant, people started putting things on their bio or how do you want to be introduced?
Yeah, the
Changing
final
that.
boss of Jeopardy. Yeah, we see you, James
Yeah,
Holzhauer. Yeah.
yeah. But then again, you
No,
were the first person to do a funny photo with Ken, and that
that's
opened
true.
up some doors. So
Thank
yeah,
you. No, it's also, I feel one of the things that Jeopardy did this week is to introduce the Sam Buttrey Andrew Key thing. They did the TikTok meme of singing the Twin song, right? Twin, where have you been? Nobody does it like it. But also, it's funnier if we do the Twin bit because the song goes like Twin, where have you been? And I'm just like, but we did the, this, this our bit. This our bit.
obviously we're just gonna have to do it ourselves, as we have
First
with
off,
everything.
First off, would 100% record that bit with you and am excited to do so. Yes.
That's one of us. So there you
Yeah,
go.
because one of us,
I will be the Andrew He of our group.
fair, but also, once again, you're the Bert of the group because Ernie is 100% down for this.
Yeah,
Bert,
yeah.
let's record a TikTok, Bert.
No, no. Andrew, who has a wonderful personality, but is also more reclusive. So on the social medias and such.
It's true.
Uh,
Yes.
so that's why I identify with him, not because of anything else. Uh,
I mean, you
I
could be
mean,
the one. I loved in that video he had the participation ribbons that he was giving out. The like, so he has the green ribbons. He's wearing one, and then he gives one to Sam in the video. Also, Sam does the dance perfectly. I was just besides myself.
I'm gonna have to take your word for it because I knew nothing about that meme or that whatever.
I love that I sent it to you 11 and a half seconds after I saw it. I didn't even
Oh
finish
yeah,
loading. And I was like, boop, boop, at DRF 22. Boop. I was
yeah.
like, whoa. Yeah, it was great. Yeah. Yeah, we are color commentary. We are both olive skinned. And so we are literally a commentary of a certain hue. It's true.
Yes, one of us is orange and one of us is yellow, and we do commentary.
I'm orange and you're yellow, Bert. I feel like it's no longer unique for us to say that this episode is unhinged, but this is actually
I
pretty
mean,
unhinged. So God bless.
I I feel like we're moving. Like I haven't, if you graphed it out, we're eventually going to hit an event horizon where we just talk and don't watch the show anymore.
Can
Like,
you imagine?
yeah, we're gonna get to a point where it's 25 minutes of this, and we're like, should we watch the show? And we're like, actually, I
And we're
think
like, no,
we
that's
have
the
other
next
stuff
one.
to do.
Yeah. Tune in next week when you can actually watch the episode. But for now, it's just Dave and I. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that's our postmasters plan. Just once a week. Hey Dave, what are
There
you
you go.
doing? Let's hang out. That makes us dangerously a podcast.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah. Thank you. That's literally all I ever want to hear from you. Thank you. Should we watch some Jeopardy?
Should we watch some Jeopardy? Is the question. Like, let's do that, right? Why not?
Try not to be too excited about that.
I'm going to leave us up here today.
Semifinals of Jeopardy Masters. Competing in tonight's second game, Amy Schneider.
Love that color.
Groce. And Yogesh Raut.
Hey.
Nice. They all look good.
Jeopardy Masters. In this match, Yogesh Raut, who won our opening game tonight, faces off once again against Victoria Groce and Amy Schneider, making her debut in this round of play. Good luck to everyone. Masters, here are your categories
I like how
in the
since
Jeopardy
it's
round.
the same episode,
First
the
up,
contestants
I'll
don't have
be
to change outfits.
Then we have podcasts.
Right.
If they were in the first
For
one.
fun, followed
Oh,
by
Trevor Rudder.
furniture, our vast past, and then some periodicals. Yogesh, start the game.
Mine's called Recreational Thinking, podcast for 800.
You could say this podcast, hosted by Jason Bateman, Sean Hayes, and Will Arnett, is a no-brainer.
Smartless.
Victoria.
What is Smartless?
Correct.
Our vast past 800.
Yeah, it is great. They didn't have to change. I really do love it.
This lawyer and co-commander at the Alamo is believed to have died early on in the fight from a bullet to the head.
Jim
Yogesh?
Bowie?
It was Travis?
It is Travis.
Okay.
Oh.
Our vast past 1000.
Herodotus relates that this man was a hemerodromos, or professional runner. He made a legendary one. Victoria.
Who is Pheidippides?
At the Battle of Marathon. Right.
Our vast past.
Well done.
Depicted here is the unique meeting between Henry VIII and Francis I, dubbed the field of this
Of
costly
gold.
fabric.
The field of gold.
Victoria.
What is the cloth of gold?
Correct.
Yeah,
Our vast past for 4.
I knew it was a cloth of gold, but I was like, I got it.
Ending in 1868, Japan's peaceful Tokugawa period is also known by this name, the former name
Edo.
of Tokyo.
Kyoto.
Yogesh.
What is the Edo period?
Good.
Oh, yes.
Periodicals,
Sorry.
800?
Why am I like this today?
Look on Grandpa's toilet tank for issues of this magazine of the U.S. past, founded by Civil War historian Bruce Catton. Yogesh.
What is American Heritage?
You're correct.
Okay.
Oh,
Periodicals
wow.
1000.
Fair.
Forgot all
This
about that.
periodical,
Me
named
too.
after financier Clarence W., is a sister publication of
I
the Weekly
shockingly do not care
Yes.
about that.
What is the Dow Jones?
Sorry, no. Victoria or Amy? Clarence W. Barron. What is Barron's?
Oh,
Yogesh, select.
sure.
Furniture 1000.
In 1994, Herman Miller introduced this ergonomic chair called the world's most coveted office chair. Victoria,
What's the Aeron chair?
good for 1,000.
Periodical for 6.
It's a good chair.
This mag has been rocking and rating since 1936, when the public had little reliable info to buy a console radio or straight razor.
Consumer.
Victoria,
What is Consumer
Consumer.
Reports?
Oh, there you go.
right again.
That's the one.
There you go.
I was like the Ralph Nader one. Consumer.
Bach's solo suites for this instrument got new exposure after an 1890 find by a kid browsing sheet music in Barcelona. Yogesh.
What's the cello?
Yes, that was a young Pablo Casals.
Triple letter fun 800.
3 C's, a papal letter intended for the whole church. Amy.
What's an
Ecclesiastical.
You're on the board.
Oh,
Triple letter,
encyclical.
1,000?
I work at a Catholic school. I got to get this.
E's, word for a rickety old car that makes a lot of noise.
Rattle trap.
Amy.
Rust
It
bucket.
is,
Rattle trap.
Yeah, right.
Out of time, I'm afraid. Yogesh or Victoria? That would be a rattle trap. Back to you,
Well
Amy.
done, baby.
triple letter 600.
Well, I did
3
own a Model T.
G's. Dennis Quilley played this role in Hamlet in 2000.
Paul
Yogesh.
Dutch,
What's
what?
the Gravedigger?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I
Podcast
wasn't paying
1000.
attention.
In 2021, this neuroscientist and tenured California professor launched his popular Lab Health podcast.
Oh, right. Damn, I was just reading about
His name is Andrew Huberman. Yogesh?
Bach 1000.
Oh, someone told me about them too, and I listened to like
32
one.
sections has been called a musical peak that almost all major pianists have attempted to scale. Victoria.
What are the Goldberg variations?
Right.
I'll be Bach for 6.
Answer, Daily Double.
Oh, look at that. Looped in.
You have first place right now, Victoria. What will you do?
True daily double.
That's what everybody's been doing.
There it is.
You're doing it. Here's your clue in I'll
All
Be
the kids
Bach.
are doing it.
In 1721, Bach dipped into the masterpiece bin and dedicated a series of works to the Margrave of this.
What is
Hesse?
Brandenburg?
The Brandenburg Concerto.
Oh, yeah.
You love your classical music, and you have 10,000.
Bach for 4.
Music based on the sufferings of Jesus on the cross. Bach wrote a St. John as well as a St. Matthew one. Yogesh?
What's a passion?
Right.
Periodicals 400.
In 2021, this magazine changed its name to Scout Life, reflecting a new diversity in its parent organization.
Life?
Yogesh?
Yeah.
What is Boys Life?
Correct.
Podcast 600.
In 2020, the staff of this Ira Glass radio program and
Oh,
podcast
yeah.
were
Wow.
the first ever recipients of a Pulitzer Prize for
I'm not even gonna say it because we're just the most cliche people to be on it.
This American Life?
You're correct.
Furniture
We're
8.
like, yeah.
Footstool options include the ottoman, which offers storage, and this, also a word for a clump of grass, which does not. Victoria?
What is a tuft?
No.
Oh,
What is a tussock?
Also incorrect.
hassock.
You guys not going to try it? No storage in a hassock. Back to you, Victoria.
I'll take furniture 6.
I thought it was a tough. That's not right.
The Furniture is the title of a song by Wet Leg. It's also repeated all day long in the chorus.
I don't know what that means.
What's a chaise
On
longue?
the chaise longue all day
Oh,
long.
I know that
Podcast for
song.
4.
On the shade long, on the shade.
Fun
Oh
stories
my
with
God, I
her,
hate myself.
This legal commentator and former
Nancy
prosecutor
Grace.
asks tough questions. Yogesh.
It was Grace.
Yes, it is.
Triple letter fun.
I do. I love the song of Shay Long, so I cannot believe I got that
A
wrong.
smaller group within a society with its own behaviors and attitudes. Amy.
What's a subculture?
Right.
Furniture 4.
Tradition says the first piece of this woven furniture to arrive in America was a baby cradle on the Mayflower in 1620. Victoria.
What is wicker?
First American wicker, yes.
Wow. I'll be Bach for 2.
That's a weird.
J.S. Bach was a force in this music style that
I feel real dumb this
began in
this
1600
whole
and
round.
1750, when Bach ended too. Amy.
What is Baroque?
Yes.
Podcast 2.
Fitting title of a podcast about 20th century Hollywood, or the first 4 words of As Time Goes By, heard in Casablanca. Amy.
What is You Must
Once
Remember
Upon.
This?
The podcast.
Triple letters.
Huh?
3 Ps, a period of learning under an experienced worker.
Apprenticeship.
Yep,
Yes.
What is apprenticeship?
Yes.
Furniture 200.
you do love a triple word.
Gets its
Triple
name
letter.
from former use, storing weapons. Victoria.
What is an armoire?
Armoire.
Right.
Our vast past for 2.
James Cook gave this name to his first landfall in Australia because of a
Botany
plethora
Bay.
of new plant species there. Victoria.
What is Botany Bay?
That's correct.
I
Periodical.
did a thing.
That-
Finally.
Nothing bad
A
ever
trusted
happened
theater
there.
resource since 1884. It first used its black and yellow logo in the 1950s.
Playbill?
Yogesh.
What is Playbill?
Gotta be,
Playbill
yeah.
is correct. That takes you to 4,000 points.
Don't worry, I'm gonna get all the 200.
You'll be
That's where I
selected
belong.
in the double Jeopardy round. Jeopardy Masters will continue in a moment.
That was. I don't think either of us were prepared for that round. It went so quickly, and
We did it so poorly.
Yeah, that was a rough one.
Amy Schneider,
Quick and bad, the
writer
TJ and Dave
at the
story.
beginning of this tournament. Is that now a full-time
I think we're
gig?
starting to
Like many people,
understand
I
why
read and
we're
enjoyed
not
your
doing
first
color
book, but
commentary.
Are you still
We're
writing?
not being paid to
I
do color
am. I did
commentary.
want to get something in real quick first because during the quarterfinals we talked about your 15-game streak of Queen Bee on the New York Times
New
spelling.
York Times
Bee.
Spelling Bee.
And in the
Oh yeah, I
interim,
got Queen
have
Bee
now stretched my
yesterday.
streak
Still
to
working
20
on it for
games.
today.
Oh!
Now, Jennings.
Wow.
What
I have
now,
like a data streak when I
Jennings?
miss like 4 words. I'm out of it. I'm out of it.
Yeah. No. Who's the greatest of all time now?
You're you are the queen. Yes, Queen Bee.
Yes.
But I do want
Not
to
Yas
plug
Queen
your book
Bee.
as well as your puzzles.
This is
Yeah, no,
exactly why
having
gay people
already
can't be
finished
giving
my
people
first
things,
book
or
in
black
the
people.
question.
Now we just got Yas Queen
I'm
Bee
hoping to
happening
write a
on
second
Jeopardy.
one. I've got a lot of different ideas. It may turn out to be 10 to 15 essays each talking about the 2016 NBA Finals, but maybe not. Maybe I'll come up with another angle for it.
I kind of like that.
I kind of do.
No.
Let's do the deep
I
dive.
do not.
Why not? Victoria Groce is back with us. Another queen, Queen Victoria, on the chase. I understand you have a very specific retirement dream.
I
Victoria.
do.
What is
I
that?
do. I am slightly obsessed with houseboats. So I desperately want to.
I love
be a
every
houseboat, like, to
piece
the
of
point that my
information
best
I
friend
learn
sent
about
me
Victoria
a
Groce.
toy,
Like,
Fisher Price
it
houseboat
just
to display in
continues
my
to be
house.
so absurd,
And
and
I
I
wanted to
want more of it.
translate
I learned Danish for a
I
knitting
wanted to literally
show. I'm
translate
obsessed with
I really get a
houseboats.
PhD in French.
This
and
necklace
just
is a
sit around
particular
and
chemical
translate books in a
compound for the
houseboat.
thing that makes
Isn't
me
that
happy.
just awesome?
It
You are
sounds
made
great.
in a lab.
Right.
You are made in a lab
Beautiful
designed to
rock.
bring me
There we
maximum
go.
joy.
There's the joke. Yogesh Raut is back with us from Vancouver, Washington. Now, you and Victoria are opponents right now, but you've been teammates in the past, and once, I understand, against a fairly unusual opponent.
Yeah, so, following in the footsteps of the great
They killed a
Bob
dragon.
Buttrey and the great Ken Jennings and Brad Rutter, we, a professor named Jordan Boyd Graber had his students design an algorithm to play Quiz Bowl, an artificial intelligence, and to test it, he asked Victoria and I to team up and try to defeat it.
I think I lost to Jordan's AI at some point. How did you two do?
It finished in a dead heat, oddly.
Ah, well done. Amy Schneider, in the red right now, but not for long, I'm sure. You'll be selecting first in the double Jeopardy round. Let's see what your categories will be, Masters.
All right,
Bridges are up first, then flavor profile. We have some one-word movie titles.
Maybe.
Okay.
Say it in Latin, note the quotation marks, followed by the Tortured Poets Department,
That's all
Taylor
you.
Swift.
facing off against Eternal Sunshine. Amy, where do you want to begin?
Wow.
The
Wow.
Portrait Poets Department 800.
I hate this
Melancholy
already.
Summer Night, the title figure of this Edwin Arlington Robinson poem, went home and put a bullet
Richard
in his
Corey.
head. Yogesh.
It was Richard Corey.
Yes.
One-word movie titles, 2000.
And suddenly you're
The
back.
title of this Ethan Hawke sci-fi flick is spelled using the letters
Gattaca.
4 DNA bases. Victoria.
What is Gattaca?
Correct.
That came when I was 14, and that's one of the many ways that I knew I was not straight, because I had a crush on Ethan Hawke in that
This
movie.
American was published in 1975.
I love
the year
that
after
movie.
she took her own life.
Yeah.
Amy?
It was Plath.
Sorry, no.
No, it was too early.
Sexton?
It is Anne Sexton. Plath was earlier.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Plath was like
Taylor
62.
Swift, so Tortured Poets, 2000.
That's right.
Uh-oh.
In Sympathy, this poet wrote, I know why the caged bird beats his wing till its blood is
That
red on
has
the
to be
cruel
Maya
bar.
Angelou? No.
Victoria?
It was Dunbar.
Paul Lawrence Dunbar is right.
Of course.
Portrait Poets
Yes.
16.
He wrote about how the world keeps spinning while we suffer and grieve in poems like Musée des Beaux-Arts and Funeral Blues. Yogesh.
It was Auden.
That's right.
One-word movie title, 1600.
Answer, Daily Double.
Oh,
He'll do
come on,
fine.
Yogesh.
You've got a
You got
chance
it.
to narrow
You got
that
it.
gap with Victoria. In fact, you could tie this game.
All right, well, I'll say 3 words, true daily double.
All right, you will tie it up if correct. In
Spicy,
one-word
man.
movie titles. This Sidney Lumet drama is set at the Union Broadcasting System.
Network.
Sidney Lumet, what is network?
Not tough for a movie buff like Yogesh. That is correct, and we have a tie game.
We got it, Davide. We're spicy.
Yeah, we
ladies.
did.
Eternal Sunshine, 1200.
Completes the title of an Iron Maiden song based on J. Robert Oppenheimer and the atom bomb. Brighter than
The Midnight Sun?
brighter than 1,000 suns. Yogesh?
1,000 suns.
Latin,
There.
2000.
It means for oneself, especially when going to court without a lawyer. Yogesh?
What is pro se?
No, I'm sorry.
It's got to have
Victoria or
in,
Amy?
right?
It's in propria persona. Back
Oh,
to you,
wow.
Yogesh.
In Latin, 1600.
Well, as you do.
Penitents can feel relieved when they hear this phrase that comes right after the Latin for I absolve you from your sins.
In perpetual.
What is in
Right.
nomine Deus?
No, I'm sorry. Yogesh?
What is in nomine patria?
No, also incorrect. Victoria's not going to take it, opting out. You were both close. In nomine patris, in the name of the Father. Yogesh?
Oh.
Flavor profile, 1600.
See That My Grave Is Kept Clean is a signature song by this seminal blues guitarist, sometimes called the father of the Texas blues,
Is it B.B. King?
who is Blind Lemon Jefferson.
Oh,
Yes.
damn.
Bridges,
Yeah.
1600.
We both should have
tough
known
stuff.
that one.
A pedestrian suspension
I
bridge
try
is
not to
part
know
of a
too many
trail
things
leading
about
to
Texas.
this end of the alphabet Swiss village.
Zurich?
What is Zermatt? Yeah,
Oh,
Victoria didn't want to
Zermatt.
risk it.
Yeah.
Back to you, Yogesh.
British 2000.
The father of railways, this builder of early 19th century locomotives also designed the Goneless Railway Bridge in Durham.
Bolton?
Victoria.
Who is Stevenson?
George Stephenson, yes.
Oh,
Bridges
of
for
course.
12.
Bolton is the steamboat.
Santiago Calatrava designed Dallas's Margaret Hunt Hill Bridge over this river, part of an effort to rejuvenate the river basin. Victoria.
What is the Trinity?
Right again.
Bridges for 8.
A Cold War flavored word for a Russian, it simply means Russian and is the name of an island and a bridge linking it to Vladivostok. Amy.
What is
Ruski? What is?
Bolshevik?
Muscovy?
Oh, I'm sorry. Victoria.
What is Ruski?
It is Ruski Island.
Oh, hey, I'm
Let's
right.
do flavor profile 12.
I love a good
If you have
guess.
a cottage garden, you will definitely want to plant this flower, a member of the pink family. Victoria.
What's a sweet pea?
No. Yogesh or Amy?
Peony?
Had the right first word, a sweet William. Victoria?
Let's do say it in Latin for 12.
Answer there is the other daily.
Oh.
I've known a sweet William or two, and I don't want it.
You've pulled back ahead since Yogesh tied it, Victoria.
Don't
what
do
do you
it.
want to do here?
Don't go all in.
6,000.
All
That's
right.
better. That's good.
With 6,000 at stake, here's your clue, and say it in Latin. This narrative device is in contrast to beginning a story ab ovo.
In medias
from an
res.
egg.
In media res.
What is in medias res?
In the middle of things. That is correct. You extend your lead. Now you have 24,000.
Bridges for 4.
In March 2024, a Baltimore bridge named for this man tragically collapsed. Yogesh.
It was Key.
Yes.
One-word movie title, 1200.
Deeming light speed too slow, the villain in this film opts for ludicrous speed.
Spaceballs.
Then things get plaid. Amy.
What is Spaceballs?
Correct.
Flavor 2000?
Pineapple Head is a collection of essays by this Japanese author.
Is it Murakami?
Victoria.
Who is Banana Yoshimoto?
That is correct for 2,000.
Ah.
Flavor profile for 8.
This oxide of uranium is processed, not baked, and probably not what you want on your birthday.
Oh,
Victoria?
shit.
What is
Cake?
yellow cake?
Right.
Thank
Flavor
you.
profile
Jesus
for 4.
Christ.
I was like cake. I know it's
Add
cake.
ly to
That's
the
the
spicy
same thing.
six-letter word, and it means
So
very
annoying.
cautious or tentatively. Yogesh.
What is Ginger?
Yes.
Eternal Sunshine 2000.
Is ginger spicy?
The first person to see a spacecraft named for him launched was Eugene Parker, father of the field known by this sunny term. Amy?
What is heliology?
Sorry, no.
Oh,
That's a
God
good
damn
guess.
it.
What is solar astronomy?
Also incorrect. Yogesh is not going
Amy's
to try
having a time.
heliophysics, solar physics. Back to you, Yogesh.
Dang.
It's a
Eternal
hard
Sunshine
game for
200.
Amy.
The
Yeah.
idea that public knowledge sets problems right is said as sunlight is the best,
Disinfectant.
based on a Louis Brandeis essay. Victoria.
What is disinfectant?
Good.
One-word movie titles for 4.
At the end of this Christopher Nolan film, a shaken Guy Pearce asks,
Memento.
"Now, where was I?"
Yep.
Yogesh?
What is Interstellar?
No.
No,
What is
Memento.
Memento?
That's correct. He's forgotten the whole movie.
Movie title 800.
Charles
John
Boyer
G.
tries to drive Ingrid Bergman crazy in this thriller we're sure you've seen before.
Deja vu.
Yes.
What is Gaslight?
Yes.
Oh, sure. That's one
Said
word.
in Latin 800.
A sculpture of King Decebalus is 180 feet high and carved into a Danube cliff. So you need to see it this way,
In
Latin
situ.
for where it is.
Yeah.
Victoria?
What is in situ?
Yes.
Say it in Latin for 4.
It means before birth and is the title of a
utero.
1993 #1 album. Amy?
What's in utero?
Nirvana, right.
Sunshine 8.
Well, she can't make it.
Magnetic solar storm
Yeah.
plus auroras visible everywhere, minus it fries satellites like the 38 made by this musky company. Amy?
What is Tesla?
Starlink.
That's correct.
Sunshine
course.
4.
A state song says,
I don't
"The
like
cattle crop the
musky."
clover and its breath is in the air, while the sun is shining over our beloved this."
County Fair.
The only state that rhymes there, our beloved Delaware.
Oh, okay.
And here's the final clue.
Not a real place.
Poets department. Keats's Ode on Melancholy wants you to wallow in sadness. So, no, go not to this mythic river of forgetfulness.
Lethe.
Yogesh.
What is Letha?
Yes, Lethe is correct. You have 13,200, but Victoria maintains a big lead with 27,200. Amy, you were taking some swings there to try to catch up, and it didn't work out for you. So tonight, we know you will finish in third place with no match points, but we will be seeing you again in the next game. But for now, Yogesh and Victoria face off in Final Jeopardy on this category. Also seen at the circus.
Oh.
Interesting. We'll have another clue right after this.
Oh.
This might be a first in Jeopardy history.
Peanut.
The Jeopardy category
What's
is
that word
also
for
seen at the
tightrope
circus.
walker?
Here's the clue.
Something ambulance.
FDR gets
Oh,
credit for implementing this as a concept in the U.S. And the metaphor was used by FDR Jr. running for office in 1966. 30 seconds. Good luck.
3 rings. No.
I literally cannot think of something like this.
I
have no clue.
don't know. Tightrope, something. I don't know. I've got tightrope in the head, in the brain.
I got nothing.
We'll come first to Yogesh Raut, who had 13,200 points. And his response was, what is big tent and then a picture of a little tent? That's a great political metaphor, but it is not the correct response, in fact. Yogesh, you wagered $13,159. Everything but 1 point. That leaves you at 1. Victoria Groce, however, had a big lead with 27,200. Her response didn't come up with anything.
Wow, okay. I don't feel
Nora,
so
but did
bad.
not come up with a response. No. This is a phrase that didn't become popular until the 80s to refer to Social Security and other New Deal era programs like that.
Safety net.
Safety net.
Damn
the
it.
Safety net of American life, also seen at the circus. What did you wager, Victoria? Not a big foolhardy one? No points. 27,200. A big win for you in game 2.
That was an excellent win.
3 match points for Victoria in first place. 1 match point for Yogesh Raut,
Wow.
who takes second place. Let's take a look at the leaderboard at the end of the night.
Let's
Yogesh
shout.
Raut finished in the match point money in both games tonight, and that puts him in first place with 4 match points.
Ooh,
But look
all
at this,
right.
Victoria Groce not far behind. She's at 3. James Holzhauer is in third place with 1. Amy in fourth with no match points. But remember, James and Amy have only played 1 game apiece, so this is still anybody's game. The semifinals conclude on Monday. We'll see you right back here on the Alex Trebek.
This is such a tight game.
Have a good night.
Yeah. Look at that. That was exciting.
It is. It's also pretty great that it is so tight between Yogesh and Victoria.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
as,
but like
as
you said,
the
like
newbies.
we need Amy and James to get another chance.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's exciting. That's cool.
I'm pretty delighted by it. This is pretty awesome. It's been a really fun Masters game, and it's great because it's like, yeah, you're used to seeing. I mean, Jeopardy's created its own sort of aristocracy, right? It's Andrew, Sam, Matt, Matea, Amy, James, and it's nice to have these 2 new faces, right? To have Yogesh and Victoria there. They really belong. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Definitely.
yeah, we are
Yeah,
very,
that's good
very
stuff.
minor barons in the aristocracy.
I always wanted to be a viscount.
That's fair. That's fair. I've always wanted to be a Marquess because it sounded the gayest.
I mean, yes.
Yes. And if I married a woman, she could be the Marchioness, which I think is just kind of fun to say. Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's
I just want to be a
surprising.
Marchioness.
It's surprising that is the masculine term. You would think
Yeah,
Marquess would be
Marquess. Yeah, Marquess. Yeah,
the
and versus the
feminine term.
Marchioness. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. It's true. Well, we are never going to be aristocracy, so God bless. But we are delightful and we get to hang out with each other, so this is pretty nice.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining the Temu or Wish.com version of Andrew Key and Sam Buttrey. We appreciate it. We make we will hear no complaints if there's discoloration or loss in thread count from watching this show that you
Wow.
are expecting.
Wow.
Yeah. We are the fast fashion version, and you're welcome.
I mean, there we have it. There's nothing to add.